Hello YouTube, it's Glenn from Glenn's Car Collection, and this is another update video of my BMW M2. I've had this car since May 1st. Right now it's September, so I've had it about 6 months or so. I have about 5,500 miles on it, maybe just under 6,000. I've been using it as a daily driver. See my new video that I posted the other day. I just bought a new daily driver. So this car, that's a 2 Series, is about 1 inch shorter than an E46 M3. Now, I just played hockey, and all these bags actually fit in that trunk. So the trunk is actually pretty big. That's been a surprise. Actually, when I ordered the car, of course, I brought my hockey equipment, and all that stuff fits here. I have this little leather fender protector so you don't get scratches right here. See, all the scratches would get here, so you kind of put this on here, and then I can kind of shove in the hockey bag with no problems. The car doesn't come with a spare tire, of course. Get all this garbage out of the way. So that's where the battery is in the back. You got your little tool kit, you got your little air pump in that bag, your little fix-a-flat. Okay. I usually keep one anyway in the car, on the side here of every car. I keep an air pump in every car and a fix-a-flat. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, you don't always have to count on the factory one. I also keep a front license plate in here. So the hockey bag fits in here, no problems. So that's been a great surprise. I always do try the hockey bag before I buy something. As far as the back seat, I'm 6 feet tall. It would be a tight fit for me to fit back here, but I've had people that are like 5'5", and they've sat back here for 2 hours. So that is a pleasant surprise. It's got a bigger back seat than I expected, and you can fit smaller adults here for about 2 hours at a time. So I think that actually works out great. What I like about the car is that everything's standard. Typically when I buy a new car, I get them stripped. If it's a $50,000 car, I don't want the sticker to be 60 or 65 with needless options. They don't really add to resale value, or not to that extent. So this is the first car I've ever owned, and I've owned a lot of cars where you know, everything came standard. So navigation was standard, backup camera. This is the first car I've ever had that's really had a navigation that wasn't like a Garmin. This is the first car I've ever had that actually has a backup camera. So that stuff certainly will spoil you. Let's look around the car. I love the blue stitching on the car. That's a nice surprise. I really think it goes with the obviously Long Beach blue. Now you get that blue stitching no matter what. So if you got this car in the other 3 colors, which are black, space gray, or white, you still get that blue stitching. I love the blue brake calipers. These wheels are really dirty. I clean them all the time, and look how much dirt is on it. But good brakes equal brake dust. I love how the front of this car looks. I haven't gotten myself to drill the front plate and put in the license plate, but I just think it looks gorgeous from the front. The paint does chip very easily. I washed this car recently. I just did a long highway trip to get to this hockey rink, and it's dirty already. But there's a lot of chips if you look. So this paint does chip easily. I switch my cars so often that sometimes it doesn't make sense for me to clear brat for $1,800 or whatever it's going to cost, $2,000, just because I don't keep the car long enough, and that's money that I'm going to lose. If you're going to keep this car a long time, you may want to invest in a clear bra. Again, look all that brake dust. Some great features of the car. The stereo is very good. This iDrive is a lot better than, say, the iDrive that I have on the 1M. I like this feature too. It has automatic high beam assist. So basically, if you're driving on a desolate road at night, it'll keep you in the high beam mode until there's another car or another light source, which is really good. It works actually fantastic. I do a lot of long highway trips coming home from hockey late at night, after midnight, 1 in the morning, and it's very helpful to have that. Now, every car should have that. I had a 2005 Jeep Cherokee that was basically my beater car, and that had that feature. So I don't know why it's taken 2016 for German cars to have that, but I don't know what my gas mileage is. I'll have to check and find that out. I don't care. I get gas a lot. It's a 13.7 gallon tank, so I do a lot of long highway trips. Obviously, the faster you go on the highway, the worse the fuel economy is going to be, so keep that in mind. You'll have to make some frequent stops. I like that you fill in the gas on the right side of the car. In New Jersey, where I live, you don't pump your own gas, but it seems like all the other cars, including the AMGs that I've had, are all on the left side, and the line to me always seems longer on the left side, so I like that it's on the right side. It's also got the lane departure warning. I have this stuff off. I think the automatic brake is on. Will give you, and you can set at 3 different settings how close you want to get to the car in front of you, and there'll be a red warning light came up. I haven't had anything in this car where it stopped me. When I had my CLA 45 AMG, I was on the highway once, and I didn't realize I had the brake assist, and somebody stopped short in front of me, and I was just going to go in the other lane. The other lanes were clear, but the car actually took over and braked me from a stop. I was probably going 50 miles an hour, and it brought me down to 0 without me touching the brakes, and that's how I found that I had the brake assist. This Harman Kardon is a very good stereo system. It's not like Bang & Olufsen or Meridian, but it's for a an upgraded stereo. It's pretty good. I actually like the iPad here. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I do actually like that screen. In comfort mode, you have the settings here for comfort, sport, and then you hit sport a second time for Sport Plus, and there's to take off your stability control settings here. I don't know if you can see that, the off button. I usually ride around in comfort mode. Comfort mode is really like a regular BMW, and that's what makes this car more of a daily driver. If you put it in sport mode, it tightens up the steering, it tightens up the, you hear the exhaust more, and then Sport Plus takes away the electronic nanny, so the car will have more oversteer. I have an autocross track background, not with this car, but I've done it for many years in various cars, and done well with it. So I like cars that are neutral as possible, maybe a little bit of oversteer. So this car is pretty neutral. In comfort mode, it'll drive very neutral. Sometime if you get on the gas early, you'll have a little bit of oversteer, and you'll have more of that in the sport modes and the Sport Plus modes. Sport mode, you'll definitely notice the difference. It's very sharp. The steering will turn. The steering rack tightens up, and you'll feel that resistance when you have the steering wheel. You also have the automatic stop here. I have that disabled. I don't know if I can get you a good thing, but you can actually press the button, and then when you're at lights, it'll actually shut off. What I'll do is I'll close the trunk here. I'll actually start the car so you can hear it. All right. That red light that you just saw there, that's what you get when you're too close to somebody. That goes off. That's just a warning light. So let's see how many miles I have. 5,600 miles right now on the car. I'll put some air on, just a little bit here because it's hot. I'm hot because I just played hockey. It gives you the speed limit to the highway that I'm about to go on is 45 miles an hour. You can go through the menu. I'm still kind of playing with that. There's no HUD. I certainly missed the heads-up display. If you got an M3 or an M4, you can get that option. Most of the other BMWs, like the 5 Series, have heads-up display. I test drove a couple F10 M5s. They had that. So I wish that was available as an option. Definitely not the end of the world, but it would be a nice option to have. This tells you how efficiently you're driving. So it'll tell you what gear to put in. Obviously, it's a manual transmission. It doesn't force you into that gear. But if you're driving around town at 35 miles an hour, I'll tell you should be in 5th gear for efficiency. I don't think there's anybody driving an M2 that's in 5th gear at 35 miles an hour. But if you want to be efficient, you can certainly do that. All right, and this is the M2. So far it's been a great car. I've been using it as a daily driver. That changed. Check out my other video, my new daily driver. I just bought a GLA 45 AMG that I'm going to use daily. That'll be my winter car. We have a lot of snow and especially ice up here in New Jersey. So you really need a winter car with winter tires. I may store this car for the winter, just to because I'm not going to use it if there's any salt on the roads. That's for sure. All right, so thanks. I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be a lot of more M2 videos to come. So please subscribe to our channel. With your subscribing, please click on the ads. Please watch the ads. We can continue to make videos. Thanks again for your support, and we'll make a new video soon. Thank you very much. Have a great day.